This is the all-new A200 from Merc. All-new car front to back, and I'm absolutely loving the new design. Gone is that MPV-ish toaster that we all got used to, and in its place, a lovely new premium-looking hatchback. Well, we're not going to get too involved in what's going on. We just want to talk about some of the things that really stand out as highlights to us in this new car. Number one would have to be the drive. It is not as hard as it used to be. It's still rather stiffly sprung, but I'm going to put that down to the run-flat tires that are fitted to this particular car. Other than that, it handles well, and the way it delivers the power through this new system is absolutely amazing. And now that we're onto the drive, let's talk about the engine in this particular car. This A200 is powered by a 1.3 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine. It's going to give you 120 kilowatts, 250 newton meters of torque. And that is more than enough to get this sprightly little premium hatchback up to the national limit of 120 on the freeway with zero effort. You can, if you were that way inclined, go a lot faster, and the car is limited to 225 kilometers an hour. Not that we would actually try and find that out. The power and drive is sent through to the wheels via a 7-speed flappy paddle gearbox. It's full auto at the moment, but you can flip it over into the sport mode and then use the paddles. When you're going to do that though, you're going to find the first negative that we discovered with this car, and that is the engine does tend to rev very high when you want a lot of performance out of it, and it doesn't sound very good. As far as the different modes go, you have Eco, Sport, Comfort, Individual, the normal whack of what you'd find in these cars. And I'm not going to say that there's much of a difference between Eco, Individual and Comfort, but when you put it into Sport, it does sharpen up the throttle response, and you can feel that the ride does get a little bit harder, but it's not overly noticeable. Now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of what makes the A200 that much more special, at least for me anyway, and that is the interior fitment. They really have raised the bar. From the Alcantara seat to the door cards, red stitching, the sports steering wheel, and then of course the piece de resistance, which is this giant screen that has trickled down from the E-Class. All of that tech, and it really is something amazing. Now, if you go back and you watch the E-Class video that we did, we actually mentioned that the E-Class is a bit of a weird child in that it had all the tech that a young person could possibly want, and yet it was aimed at an older buyer. Here the A-Class is the other way around. You have all of that tech that a young person would want. Mercedes has actually now gone and pitched this at a younger crowd. And that's where the price comes in, because the base model of the A200 is going to cost you 499,900 Rand. That is until you get to the options list. Now, the base car of this, like I said, 500k, and then you can start ticking the options boxes. This car, as tested, as near as makes no difference, about 650,000 Rand, 100,000 Rand of extras. Now, when we were talking about that big screen, we failed to mention that this car has an entirely new infotainment system. And it is a bit of a strange one in that, much like Alexa and Siri, this car is always listening. You'll notice that I have avoided saying the word Mercedes.
How can I help you?
What is the outside temperature?
The outside temperature is 28 degrees Celsius.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. Very, very nice system. I quite enjoy the new tech. You just have to be very careful about what you say because Mercedes is always listening.
What can I do for you?
You can cancel. Thank you, Mercedes.
Can you say that again, please?
Cancel? Well, there you have it. Lots of nice new tech to play with. A much, much more accomplished drive. Leagues better than the previous model. Coming at a really good price. And if you can stomach the options list, even better.